Sinem, thanks very much indeed. That's Sinem Kosiolo bringing us up to date from Baku. I want to bring in Ahmad Shahidov. He's the head of the Azerbaijan Institute for Democracy and Human Rights. He's joining us from Baku. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. I want to get a sense from you how the people in the rest of Azerbaijan are reacting to this ongoing conflict.
Yes, good morning, greetings from Baku. Armenian armed forces continue firing on the civilians in Azerbaijan, and now Ganja city of Azerbaijan came under missile attacks again today. And the reaction of the population of Azerbaijan are very negative. We all condemn these violation of ceasefire, first of all, because on October 10 there was a meeting in Moscow about the ceasefire agreement reached between conflicting sides. But Armenia, after a couple hours of this meeting, again violated the ceasefire and started to fire, especially civilians. And the population condemned these firing civil settlements, civil citizens. And I think hiding itself behind humanitarian truths, armed forces of Armenia continue its practice of terror and war crimes, because we had witnessed these war crimes during 1990s during the First Karabakh War. And new missile systems have been brought to Armenia after the ceasefire agreement, and immediately they started to attack civilians in Azerbaijani cities in cruel manner. And the ballistic missiles have been fired from the territory of Armenia against Azerbaijan, not from the territory of Nagorno-Karabakh. By the firing from the Armenian territory, Armenian authorities tried to provoke Azerbaijan and to involve the third countries, especially Russia, to this conflict.
Yeah. Let me interrupt you there, because I want to talk to you about something specific. I interviewed the Armenian foreign minister a few days ago, and he was absolutely categorical in saying that Armenia is not attacking Azerbaijan. It is, however, supporting Nagorno-Karabakh. The inference that we took from that was that it was the defense forces in Nagorno-Karabakh that were attacking Azerbaijan. Why is it in Azerbaijan's interests to try to stress that these attacks are coming from inside Armenia as opposed to coming from the defense forces in Nagorno-Karabakh?
You know, the Armenian authorities, Armenian armed forces, and the terrorist groups in Nagorno-Karabakh are the same power and managed from Erevan. And Armenia not only supports, even direct these militants, these terrorists in Nagorno-Karabakh. And every time they say that this is Liberation Army of Nagorno-Karabakh, but there is no any army. This is Armenian citizens, Armenian soldiers that are located in occupied Nagorno-Karabakh and other surrounding territories of Azerbaijan. You know, last week's Azerbaijani army operated very successful military operations in Nagorno-Karabakh and liberated several regions and villages from Armenian occupation. That's why now Armenian army they moved back to territory of Armenia and fired from especially from territory of Armenia and provoked Azerbaijan to attack and destroy these fire points in territory army. And after that, to provoke Azerbaijan and say to its allies, to Russia and other countries, that Azerbaijan attacked Republic of Armenia. So by this way, Armenian authorities
I'm going to interrupt you again because I want to. You did bring up an interesting point in your first answer, which was to suggest that Armenia was getting equipment, military support and equipment from elsewhere and using it in order to attack Azerbaijan. There is, of course, a strong argument that Azerbaijan is also getting equipment from outside countries. Turkey is a name that has come up. How big a role is Turkey playing in this, and would Azerbaijan have responded in the way that it has if Turkey had not been giving Azerbaijan its support?
You know, this is the two different things. Azerbaijan buys these weapons by money, but Armenia gets these weapons for free from Russia, from other countries. But Azerbaijan buys these weapons not only from Turkey. We buy weapons from Russia, from Turkey, from Belarus, from Ukraine, from Israel, from US, from other countries. But this is the different thing. And Turkey is our brother country. But anyway, Turkey stands for commitments and requirements of international law. And international law demands the restore, first of all, withdraw all external troops from occupied Nagorno-Karabakh. There are 4 resolutions of UN Security Council that immediately demands withdrawal of all external troops from Nagorno-Karabakh and other surrounded regions. And Turkey demands for a commitment of these international laws requirement. Also, Turkey is a very brother country. We are one nation, 2 states, let's say.
Let me ask you this, because I want to ask you about the longer-term consequences of this. You are head of the Azerbaijan Institute for Democracy and Human Rights. Is it not in Azerbaijan's interests, if it wants to bring together as much international support as possible, is it not in Azerbaijan's interests to maintain the ceasefire, to stop the fighting, and take that high ground? And yet it does not seem intent on doing that. It seems determined to respond, at least, to every incident that happens.
Of course, we stand for peace as well. After first ceasefire agreement signed in May 1994, last 26, 27 years, we always stand for peace and peaceful negotiation of this conflict. Unfortunately, in April 2016, in July of this year, Armenian side always tries to provoke and fire the civilian settlements. And last 30 years, Azerbaijan always called international community, OSCE, Minsk Group co-chairs to press Armenia to respect the international law, because international law, the Geneva Convention, demands the restoring of territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. That's why last 30 years we always demanded and respected the peaceful negotiation. But Armenian authorities, they try to keep the status quo and to gain some time for to formalize this occupation of Nagorno-Karabakh. That's why. And these clashes started on Sunday after the firing of civilian settlements by Armenian armed forces. And in response to these provocations, Azerbaijani army launched large-scale military operations and destroyed all these fire points in Nagorno-Karabakh region, in other occupied territories. Of course, we are ready for peace negotiation, but first of all, it must be committed that resolutions of UN Security Council, 4 resolutions, and external troops, basically Armenian troops, must be withdrawn from occupied territories. After that, we are ready to start these peaceful negotiations. But in the background of these negotiations should be
Ahmad Shahidov, I'm afraid I'm going to have to interrupt you because I'm very sorry time is against us. That's Ahmad Shahidov. He's the head of the Azerbaijan Institute for Democracy and Human Rights, and we appreciate you joining us on Al Jazeera. Thank you.